Betrayal, a word that cuts through the soul, a word that holds a weight most of us have felt but struggle to carry. It comes unexpectedly from places we once felt safe, from people we trusted. And when it strikes, it leaves us questioning everything, our relationships, our judgment, and even our sense of self. But let me tell you something. Betrayal, though it wounds, is also a teacher. Betrayal is one of life's harshest teachers, an experience that slices through the illusions we often build around people, relationships, and circumstances. It forces us to confront truths hidden in the shadows, truths we may not have been ready to see, or ones we actively ignored. While betrayal carries pain and disillusionment, it also holds the power to unveil deeper realities, guiding us toward growth, clarity, and ultimately freedom. When betrayal occurs, it feels as though the ground beneath us shifts. The people or situations we trusted reveal a different, often darker reality. It's tempting to focus solely on the pain or injustice of the act, but the truth is, betrayal rarely emerges out of nowhere. It's often the culmination of ignored red flags, subtle warnings, or gut feelings we silenced. When someone betrays us, they shine a light on what we didn't want to acknowledge. In this sense, betrayal is not just a breaking point, it is a revealing moment. Consider the dynamics of betrayal in a close relationship. When a friend, partner, or colleague breaks your trust, their actions speak volumes about their character. But beyond that, betrayal also holds a mirror to the dynamics of the relationship itself. Were there signs of selfishness, manipulation, or dishonesty that you brushed aside? Perhaps you gave too much of yourself, overlooking behaviors that didn't align with your values. Betrayal brings these truths into sharp focus. It forces you to reevaluate not only the person who wronged you, but also the patterns that allowed such betrayal to take root. Betrayal often uncovers the roles we unconsciously play in our own lives. It compels us to question how we invest our trust, energy, and love. Were we too quick to believe in someone's potential rather than seeing their actions? Did we sacrifice our boundaries for the sake of harmony or acceptance? These questions are difficult to confront, but they are necessary. In the aftermath of betrayal, you are given an opportunity to reflect, to understand how your choices and perceptions shape the relationship or situation. This clarity is a gift, though it may not feel like one in the moment. The truths revealed by betrayal don't just pertain to others. They also illuminate aspects of ourselves. Betrayal can expose insecurities, fears, or blind spots we didn't know we carried. For instance, if betrayal leaves you feeling unworthy or questioning your value, it may highlight a deeper need for self-love and affirmation from within, rather than relying on external validation. Betrayal has a way of bringing to the surface what lies unresolved within us, creating an opportunity for healing and self-discovery. However, facing these truths is not an easy process. It requires courage to sit with the pain and examine what it reveals. Betrayal's aftermath often comes with feelings of anger, sadness, and even shame. But as you navigate through these emotions, a transformation begins. The truth, once fully seen, cannot be unseen. It changes you, sharpens your discernment, and strengthens your ability to protect your peace and energy in the future. Betrayal also serves as a powerful reminder that not all losses are negative. Sometimes the person or situation that betrayed you needed to exit your life for you to grow or move forward. Their betrayal reveals their true character, clearing the way for healthier, more aligned relationships and opportunities. In this sense, betrayal can be a form of liberation, breaking ties that no longer serve your highest good. It allows you to step into a more authentic and empowered version of yourself. The truths betrayal uncovers often lead to a reevaluation of your values and priorities. You begin to see more clearly what matters most to you and who deserves a place in your life. Betrayal teaches discernment, not from a place of bitterness or cynicism, but from a place of wisdom and self-respect. It helps you identify the kind of relationships, environments, and dynamics that nurture your well-being rather than drain it. It's important to acknowledge that betrayal is not an experience we would willingly choose, yet it is often one of life's most profound catalysts for change. While the initial pain may feel overwhelming, the truths that emerge hold the potential to transform your life. Betrayal strips away illusions, forcing you to see things as they are, not as you wish them to be. It sharpens your perspective, strengthens your boundaries, and ultimately aligns you more closely with your true self. The challenge is to embrace the lessons betrayal offers without becoming hardened by the experience. Let the truths it reveals guide you, but don't let the pain define you. Recognize betrayal for what it is, a moment of clarity wrapped in difficulty. Use this clarity to rebuild, to move forward with greater awareness, and to cultivate relationships and circumstances that reflect your values and worth. In the end, betrayal exposes not only the truths hidden in others, but also the strength, resilience, and wisdom hidden within you. It is an unwelcome teacher, but a powerful one, capable of transforming your pain into profound growth. The key is to let the truths it reveals shape your future, not shatter your spirit. Pain is an inevitable part of life, an experience that touches everyone at some point on their journey. Yet while pain often feels like an unwelcome visitor, it holds within it the seeds of growth and transformation. Pain is not merely a sign of suffering. It is also a doorway to greater understanding, strength, and resilience. How you respond to pain determines whether it becomes a barrier that confines you or a catalyst that propels you toward personal evolution. Pain has a unique way of capturing your attention. When life is smooth and comfortable, it is easy to overlook areas of growth or deeper reflection. Pain, however, forces you to pause and take notice. It demands that you look inward, even when doing so feels uncomfortable. This self-reflection is the first step toward growth. Pain highlights what is not working, whether it is a relationship, a belief system, or a pattern of behavior. It calls you to examine the root cause and invites you to make changes that align with your true self. Growth through pain often begins with acceptance. Resistance to pain, whether through denial, suppression, or distraction, only amplifies its intensity. Accepting pain does not mean welcoming it or wishing for it, but rather acknowledging its presence and the lessons it offers. It is in this space of acceptance that clarity begins to emerge. Pain teaches you to sit with discomfort, to face it without fear, and to recognize that it is a temporary phase, not a permanent state. This shift in perspective allows you to move from a place of victimhood to one of empowerment. Pain also teaches resilience, the ability to adapt and thrive in the face of adversity. Life's challenges often feel overwhelming, but each time you navigate through pain, you build emotional strength. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or pretending it doesn't exist. It is about learning to carry it, process it, and ultimately grow from it. Over time, you begin to see that pain is not an enemy, but a teacher that equips you with the tools to face future challenges with courage and grace. Another gift of pain is the empathy and compassion it fosters. When you experience pain, you develop a deeper understanding of the struggles others face. This shared human experience creates connections and a sense of unity. Pain humbles you, stripping away the superficial and revealing what truly matters. It reminds you of your humanity and the humanity of others, cultivating a more compassionate outlook on life. Pain often pushes you toward transformation. It disrupts the status quo and forces you out of your comfort zone where true growth takes place. For example, the pain of failure can inspire you to reassess your approach and try again with renewed determination. The pain of heartbreak can teach you about your own needs, boundaries, and capacity for love. Each painful experience, while difficult in the moment, carries the potential to reshape you into a stronger, wiser, and more authentic version of yourself. Pain also brings the gift of gratitude. When you endure difficult times, you develop a greater appreciation for moments of joy, peace, and contentment. Pain creates contrast, allowing you to recognize and cherish the good in life. It reminds you not to take happiness for granted and to find beauty in small, everyday blessings. This gratitude serves as a source of healing and motivation, helping you to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose. It is important to note that growth through pain is not automatic. It requires intentionality and a willingness to engage with the discomfort rather than avoid it. It calls for self-awareness, patience, and the courage to embrace vulnerability. Growth is a process, often slow and nonlinear, but it is always possible when you approach pain with an open heart and mind. The transformation that pain brings is not about erasing the scars, but about wearing them as symbols of strength and resilience. Each scar tells a story of a challenge faced and overcome, of lessons learned and growth achieved. Pain shapes you, not by breaking you, but by revealing your capacity to heal and thrive. Ultimately, pain is a doorway, not a destination. It is a passage that leads you to greater understanding, deeper connections, and a stronger sense of self. While you may not choose pain, you can choose how to respond to it. By stepping through the doorway of pain with courage and intention, you discover that it is not the end of the story, but the beginning of a new chapter, one marked by growth, resilience, and the profound realization of your own inner strength. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. Many equate it with excusing wrongdoing or granting approval to those who have hurt them. This misconception keeps people bound to their pain, resisting the idea of forgiveness as if it means condoning injustice or diminishing their own worth. However, true forgiveness is not about excusing or approving. It is about liberation. It is the act of freeing yourself from the emotional chains that tether you to the pain of the past, allowing you to reclaim your peace, joy, and power. Forgiveness begins with the recognition that holding on to resentment does not harm the one who wronged you, it harms you. Carrying the weight of anger, bitterness, or betrayal is like holding a burning coal in your hand, hoping it will hurt someone else. The longer you hold on to it, the more damage it does to your own spirit. Forgiveness is the process of releasing that coal, not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve freedom. It is a gift you give to yourself, not a favor you grant to another. Forgiving does not mean forgetting. It does not require you to pretend that the pain never happened or that the wrongdoing was acceptable. Instead, forgiveness is about remembering with wisdom. It allows you to acknowledge the hurt, learn from it, and let it shape your growth, rather than allowing it to define your identity. Forgiveness gives you the power to rewrite your narrative, one where you are not the victim of your past, but the hero of your healing journey. At its core, forgiveness is about reclaiming your emotional autonomy. When you hold on to resentment, you allow the actions of others to dictate your inner state. The person who wronged you continues to exert control over your thoughts and feelings long after the original offense occurred. Forgiveness is a declaration of independence, a decision to no longer let someone else's actions dictate your happiness or peace of mind. It is not about them, it is about you taking back your power. Many struggle with forgiveness because they believe it lets the offender off the hook. But forgiveness is not about justice or consequences, it is about release. Forgiving someone does not mean they are free from accountability or that their actions have no repercussions. What it does mean is that you are choosing to release the emotional burden that keeps you tied to the past. Justice and accountability are external processes. Forgiveness is an internal one. You can forgive and still establish boundaries, seek resolution, or even decide to walk away from the relationship entirely. Forgiveness is also a profound act of self-compassion. It acknowledges that you deserve peace even if someone else does not deserve pardon. It is an act of prioritizing your well-being over the need to hold on to anger or seek revenge. In forgiving, you grant yourself permission to heal, to let go of the emotional turmoil that drains your energy, and to focus on the present and future rather than being trapped in the past. The process of forgiveness is not linear, nor is it easy. It often involves revisiting the pain, confronting difficult emotions, and wrestling with feelings of injustice. It requires time, patience, and a willingness to engage with your own vulnerability. Forgiveness is not a single moment of decision, but an ongoing practice, a commitment to choosing freedom over resentment, a commitment to choosing freedom over resentment, a commitment to choosing freedom over resentment again and again. There may be days when the hurt resurfaces, but each time you choose forgiveness, you weaken its grip on your heart. Forgiveness also requires empathy, not for the sake of excusing behavior, but for understanding its roots. Often, those who cause harm are acting out of their own wounds, insecurities, or ignorance. Recognizing this does not justify their actions, but it can help to humanize them, making it easier to let go of the anger that binds you to them. Empathy does not absolve, it liberates. It creates space for you to move beyond the pain and see the situation with greater clarity. One of the most profound aspects of forgiveness is its ability to transform pain into power. When you forgive, you take control of your narrative. You become an active participant in your healing rather than a passive recipient of suffering. Forgiveness turns the focus from what was done to you to what you can do for yourself. It shifts the energy from blame to empowerment, from hurt to hope. Ultimately, forgiveness is an act of love, not for the person who hurts you, but for yourself. It is a recognition that you are worthy of peace, happiness, and liberation from the past. It is a testament to your strength, resilience, and commitment to your own well-being. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it transforms your relationship with it. It allows you to release the pain, embrace the lessons, and move forward with an open heart and a renewed sense of purpose. In choosing forgiveness, you choose freedom. A life unburdened by resentment and rich with possibilities. Betrayal has a way of cutting to the very core of who we are. It shakes the foundation of trust we build with others and forces us to question our own judgment and self-worth. When someone you trust betrays you, it's natural to wonder if you did something wrong, if you deserve the betrayal, or if you're somehow not good enough. These thoughts can spiral, leading to doubt, insecurity, and a diminished sense of self-worth. However, it's crucial to recognize that betrayal does not define you. Instead, it is an opportunity to confront these feelings, rebuild your confidence, and emerge stronger and more self-assured. Betrayal often blindsides us because it comes from those we've allowed into the most vulnerable parts of our lives: friends, partners, family, or colleagues. The pain of betrayal is deeply personal, and it's easy to internalize it as a reflection of your own value. You might think, if I were smarter, kinder, or more deserving, this wouldn't have happened. But this perspective overlooks an essential truth. Betrayal says more about the betrayer's character than your worth. It is their actions, choices, and values that led to the betrayal, not your inadequacies. One of the hardest aspects of betrayal is its tendency to erode self-trust. You may begin to doubt your ability to judge people accurately or make wise decisions. This loss of self-trust can be devastating because it disconnects you from your inner strength and intuition. But this challenge is also an invitation to rebuild that trust, starting with the understanding that everyone makes mistakes. Betrayal does not mean you're a poor judge of character. It means someone chose to act against your trust. Their choice does not diminish your ability to trust yourself or others again. In the aftermath of betrayal, self-reflection is key. It's natural to analyze what happened, searching for answers or ways to avoid future pain. However, this reflection should be rooted in compassion, not self-blame. Instead of asking what's wrong with me, ask, what can I learn from this experience? Perhaps you'll discover patterns in your relationships that need adjustment, such as overgiving, ignoring red flags, or placing others' needs above your own. These realizations are not indictments of your character, but opportunities for growth. Rebuilding self-worth after betrayal requires a conscious effort to focus on your inherent value, independent of how others treat you. Your worth is not contingent on someone's ability to honor their promises or respect your trust. It is intrinsic, rooted in who you are, not in what others do to or for you. Remind yourself of your strengths, achievements, and the love you bring to the world. Affirm your value daily and surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. Boundaries are another essential tool in reclaiming self-worth after betrayal. When someone betrays you, it's a sign that your boundaries were disregarded or not clearly defined. Use this experience to reassess what you're willing to accept in relationships and where you need to draw the line. Establishing and maintaining boundaries is an act of self-respect, reinforcing the idea that your well-being matters and that you deserve to be treated with care and integrity. Healing from betrayal also involves redefining trust. Trust doesn't mean blindly believing in everyone. It means discerning who is worthy of your vulnerability and who is not. Rebuilding trust, whether in yourself, others, or life itself, takes time and courage. It requires you to stay open, even after being hurt, and to believe in the possibility of healthy, fulfilling connections. Forgiveness plays a pivotal role in the journey to reclaiming self-worth, but it's important to clarify what forgiveness truly means. Forgiving the person who betrayed you does not mean excusing their actions or forgetting the pain they caused. It means releasing the hold their actions have on your heart so you can move forward without the weight of resentment. Forgiveness is not about them. It's about freeing yourself. Perhaps the most profound realization you can take from betrayal is that your self-worth is unshakable, even in the face of deep pain. The betrayal may have hurt you, but it cannot diminish the essence of who you are. You are resilient, capable, and deserving of love and respect. The pain you've endured is a testament to your strength, and the lessons you've learned will guide you toward healthier relationships and a deeper connection to yourself. Ultimately, betrayal challenges self-worth because it forces you to confront your fears and insecurities. But it also provides an opportunity to redefine your sense of self on your terms. It teaches you to stand tall, not in spite of what happened, but because you have chosen to grow through it. By choosing to value yourself, even in the face of betrayal, you reclaim your power, rebuild your confidence, and affirm that your worth is untouchable. In doing so, you transform betrayal from a source of pain into a catalyst for personal empowerment. Pain has a way of clouding our judgment, consuming our thoughts, and making it difficult to see beyond the immediate hurt. When betrayal strikes, it feels like a storm tearing through the soul, leaving chaos and confusion in its wake. But beneath the hurt, within the quiet moments of reflection, lie profound lessons that have the power to shape, strengthen, and transform us. These lessons, though often concealed by emotional pain, are gifts waiting to be unwrapped. Betrayal is a stark reminder of the impermanence and unpredictability of human relationships. It forces us to confront the reality that not everyone we encounter will honor their promises, and not every connection will withstand the test of time. While this realization can be painful, it is also liberating. It teaches us to cherish the relationships that are genuine and mutual while learning to release those that no longer serve our growth. This discernment helps us build a more meaningful life filled with authentic connections. One of the most valuable lessons betrayal teaches is the importance of self-reliance. When someone you trust breaks that bond, it can feel like the ground has been pulled from beneath your feet. But in that moment of loss, you are reminded of the strength that lies within. You learn that your happiness, stability, and sense of self cannot and should not depend solely on others. Betrayal compels you to rebuild your foundation on self-love and self-trust, ensuring that no one else has the power to destabilize your inner peace. So in a new relationship, another lesson hidden beneath the hurt is the power of boundaries. Betrayal often occurs when we allow others to overstep boundaries, whether consciously or unconsciously. It shines a light on areas where we may have been too lenient, too trusting, or too afraid to assert our needs. Through the pain, we learn to protect our emotional space, to clearly communicate our limits, and to recognize that boundaries are not walls. They are safeguards for our well-being. The pain of betrayal also teaches resilience. While betrayal can feel like an insurmountable blow, it is a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure and heal. Each step taken toward recovery, whether through seeking support, journaling, or simply allowing yourself to feel, demonstrates your capacity to rise above adversity. Resilience is not about avoiding pain, but about choosing to grow through it. With every tear shed and every moment of self-reflection, you cultivate a strength that will carry you forward. Betrayal also encourages us to reassess our values and priorities. It forces us to ask important questions. What do we truly want in our relationships? What qualities do we value most in ourselves and others? What patterns might we be repeating that leave us vulnerable to betrayal? These questions, though difficult, lead to clarity and self-awareness. They help us align our lives more closely with our values and create relationships that reflect mutual respect and integrity. Forgiveness, though challenging, is another profound lesson that often emerges from betrayal. Forgiveness is not about condoning the act or pretending it didn't happen. It's about releasing yourself from the grip of anger and resentment. Holding on to the pain only prolongs your suffering, while forgiveness frees you to move forward. It is a powerful act of self-care that allows you to reclaim your emotional energy and focus on what truly matters. Lastly, betrayal teaches us to embrace the duality of human nature. No one is entirely good or bad, and betrayal often comes from a place of fear, insecurity, or misunderstanding. This doesn't excuse the act, but it helps us see the humanity in others and approach the situation with compassion rather than bitterness. By understanding the complexity of human behavior, we can navigate future relationships with greater empathy and wisdom. While the lessons beneath the hurt may not reveal themselves immediately, they are always present, waiting to guide us toward growth and healing. These lessons remind us that pain is not the end, it is a beginning. It is a gateway to deeper self-awareness, stronger relationships, and a more resilient spirit. Betrayal may break us momentarily, but it also rebuilds us, piece by piece, into a stronger, wiser version of ourselves. Embracing these lessons requires patience and courage. It involves sitting with discomfort, asking difficult questions, and taking intentional steps toward healing. But as you do, you'll discover that the hurt, though painful, is temporary, while the wisdom it imparts is lasting. Beneath the surface of betrayal lies the wellspring of insight and strength, waiting to be unearthed. When you choose to learn from the pain, you transform it into a source of power, using it to create a life filled with authenticity, resilience, and purpose. Healing after betrayal is one of life's most challenging yet transformative journeys. At its core, healing is not just about moving past the pain, but about rebuilding the trust that was shattered. Trust is the foundation of our relationships with others, with ourselves, and even with the world around us. When betrayal occurs, it fractures this foundation, leaving us questioning everything. But healing requires us to reconnect with trust, not blindly, but with wisdom, discernment, and courage. The first step in reconnecting with trust is understanding that trust is not about guaranteeing outcomes. Many people struggle to trust again after betrayal because they fear being hurt once more. They believe that trust requires certainty. But the truth is, trust is an act of faith. It is a choice to believe in the possibility of goodness, even when past experiences suggest otherwise. Reconnection begins when we accept that trust will always carry an element of vulnerability. But it is this vulnerability that allows us to experience genuine connection and growth. Rebuilding trust begins with ourselves. Betrayal often leaves us doubting our own judgment. We question why we didn't see the signs, why we allowed ourselves to be vulnerable, or why we trusted someone who ultimately hurt us. This self-doubt can be paralyzing, but healing requires us to reclaim our self-trust. We must remind ourselves that our ability to trust was not the problem. The betrayal was a reflection of the other person's choices, not a flaw in our character. By acknowledging this, we can begin to trust our instincts and intuition once more, knowing that mistakes are part of life, not reasons to close ourselves off. Reconnecting with trust also involves forgiveness, not just for others, but for ourselves. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as condoning the actions of the person who hurt us, but in reality, it is about freeing ourselves from the weight of resentment. Holding on to anger and mistrust only prolongs the pain of betrayal. By forgiving, we make space for healing and growth. Forgiveness doesn't mean we forget or invite the person back into our lives. It simply means we release the grip of their actions on our hearts, allowing us to move forward. As we work on self-trust and forgiveness, we must also learn to trust selectively and wisely. Healing from betrayal doesn't mean returning to a state of naive openness. It means developing the discernment to identify who deserves our trust. Trust is not something to be given away freely. It must be earned. This doesn't mean becoming cynical or closed off. It means setting boundaries and observing how others behave over time. Actions speak louder than words, and true trust is built through consistency, honesty, and mutual respect. Another critical element of reconnecting with trust is being willing to take small, intentional steps forward. Trust cannot be rebuilt overnight. It is a gradual process that requires patience and persistence. Start by trusting in small, low-risk situations, whether with others or with yourself. Each step forward, no matter how small, builds confidence and strengthens the foundation of trust. Over time, these small steps accumulate, creating a path toward deeper, more meaningful relationships. It's also important to recognize that trust is not just about other people, it's about our relationship with life itself. When betrayal occurs, it can make us feel as though the world is unsafe, as though life itself has let us down. Healing requires us to reconnect with a sense of trust in the greater picture, even when we don't understand the reasons behind our pain. This might involve finding comfort in faith, spirituality, or simply in the belief that challenges often lead to growth and transformation. Lastly, reconnecting with trust requires us to embrace vulnerability once again. It can be tempting to build walls around ourselves to avoid the risk of being hurt. But these walls not only keep out potential pain, they also block the joy, love, and connection that make life meaningful. True trust involves accepting the risk of vulnerability, knowing that the rewards of authentic relationships are worth it. By allowing ourselves to be open, even after experiencing betrayal, we reclaim our power and our ability to live fully. Healing through reconnection with trust is not a linear process. There will be setbacks and moments of doubt, but with each step forward, we grow stronger, wiser, and more capable of navigating life's complexities. Trust is not about avoiding pain, but about believing in the possibility of healing and growth. It is a journey that leads us not only to healthier relationships, but to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our resilience. Betrayal may break us temporarily, but it also presents an opportunity to rebuild, stronger, wiser, and more grounded than before. Reconnecting with trust allows us to transcend the pain and embrace a life filled with authentic connections and unshakable self-belief. Through this process, we discover that trust, when rebuilt with care and intention, becomes one of the most powerful forces in our lives.